everybody. Today I'm going to make a recipe that I found on another person's channel, and I really enjoy watching their channel. It's Jessica O'Donoghue, and she could make a bag of rocks look delicious and sound delicious. Her and her husband Bunky, and they call each other Bunky. They're a real cute young couple, and I just enjoy seeing what they're doing. So she made this recipe. I saw the video yesterday. I'm not sure if she'd put it up sooner than that, but it's Bunky, her husband Brian, pretty sure his name's Brian. It's his favorite recipe. They made it sound so good and look so good, and so I wanted to try it because it's something that my family would love also. So if you go over to her channel, please tell her that I sent you and that I think she has a wonderful channel. And it's Jessica O'Donoghue. So what it is, I haven't even told you, is steak and broccoli over rice. I'm going to be doing 99% the way she did it, maybe just a little tweak for my family. So I'm going to get the camera down here on the crock pot. And the first thing I'm going to do is put 2 cups of water or beef broth, and I'm going to be using this beef packets, and I believe I'll use 2 of them to go in here. I'm not really sure. No, I'll just use 1 because it says each pouch does 2 cups. So I'm going to just pour that in the water and give it a little stir. And put it on down in the crock pot. And next, I have to keep looking at my, where I wrote down the recipe. And then you need soy sauce. Now let me tell you, I'm doubling this recipe. So whatever I do half of it. It says a half a cup of soy sauce. That's for the regular recipe. I'm going to double it to 1 cup of soy sauce. So that ran out. I'll need to call on my backup. Okay, there's a cup of soy sauce, and this is Creson, which I think is a really good brand. Then we're going to add sesame oil. I love sesame oil, but please be careful when you use it because it's a very strong flavor and it can ruin your meal, especially if you don't care for the flavor of it. So use what it calls for when you're using it. And I have the toasted sesame oil here, and it calls for a tablespoon. So I will use 2 tablespoons. Here's one, and there's two. And the next thing is garlic. It says 4 cloves of garlic. So I have my garlic here. And I'm just gonna get, that's a pretty big scoop, so that's all that I will put. And then it calls for 4 cloves of garlic in the normal recipe. Then brown sugar. And it calls for 1/4 of a cup. So I'm going to use 1/2 a cup. That one's 3/4. Yeah. Let me double check that, just make sure I get it right. It calls for 1/4 a cup, so I'm going to use 1/2 a cup. And I'm going to get just a little bit more there. Okay. And I believe that at this point, that's all you do as far as the broth goes. We want to give this a stir. Now, here it is. I don't like using that metal on there. So someone had sent me these wooden ones, and I like to keep them close by. So we have that all stirred up. A lot of nice sauce in there. Now, I have 3 pounds of sirloin steak. I've cut about that thick. And the recipe, if you're going to do just a regular recipe, it calls for 2 pounds. But I decided to go ahead and do an extra pound because my family really loves steak and they really love broccoli. They really love Oriental food, so I decided while I'm making, just make sure that I make plenty. So now this is down in the broth, and what we're going to do from here is I'm going to close the lid, cut it on high, and let it go for 4 hours. And when those 4 hours are up, we'll come back and I'll add the rest of what goes in here and let it finish cooking. So I will see you shortly. We're back and the meat has cooked. It's very, very tender. And I did sneak a piece of the meat, and boy, is it good. So I'm going to bring you down and we'll continue on with the next step. And this is what the meat looks. It's just the cut up sirloin in the broth. And what I have done is I took 5 tablespoons of cornstarch, mixed it with 5 tablespoons of water, and now we're going to pour it in to our broth so that we can thicken this up. Just give it a stir, and as it cooks, it will thicken up. And now, this is the cornstarch I use, not that it really matters, but now the recipe calls for a head of broccoli. And if you like the crunch and all that of fresh broccoli, then that's what you need to put in here. But my family likes a very well cooked broccoli. Not mushy, but it could be getting close to it. And we like a lot of broccoli. And there's a lot of steak in here. And I'm going to put a ton of broccoli. This is the florets. And I'm just going to put what I feel like I can get in here. And I probably should have cut some of these down. I'm going to try to add a few more. What doesn't get eaten today will get eaten. And as the broccoli cooks down, it will fit in the liquid better. So once I close the lid on this, I'm gonna let it go for about 40-45 minutes, simply because I'm putting frozen broccoli in here and it's let the temperature cool down, and I need the temperature to build back up. If you were putting fresh broccoli, then you could do it for half an hour. So when this is done, I will have made a pot of rice, and we will dish this up and see what we think. Everybody, the food is ready, and I am going to tell you, it is every bit as good as what Jessica and her husband said it was. And her name is Jessica O'Donoghue. I'm going to put that in the description box. I think I've called her everything but that. But anyway, I went ahead and fixed Randy's plate because he's starving. This is what it looks like. And it is just really, really good. Randy said he did have a taste of the meat also, and he said, wow, that tastes very oriental. And anyway, it does have a bit of an oriental taste to it, which is what it's supposed to have, but it's delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and go and get him fed, and I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.